Welcome back for week 2 of our training. It is Michelle Fox, independent beauty consultant with Mary Kay Cosmetics, and today we're going to talk about the key to success in Mary Kay. And it's probably the key to success in almost any other field, but it is consistency. Consistency is absolutely the make it or break it. You can climb the ladder quickly, and many say fast is easy, slow is never. Or you can take your time. I have been one that has been more slow and steady, and that's been okay with me. That's my personality, and I feel that that has allowed me to lay a very solid base. But no matter what, either way, whatever your personality, whatever your style, whatever comes your way, it has to be consistent. You can't, for a week or two, I got a hair somewhere going in my mouth. You can't for a week or two go great guns and then do nothing for 3 months and then, get another spurt of energy and do, 3 months of you're in a contest or something, and so then you're really focused, but then you're going to go on vacation, so you already decide that you're probably not going to do much over the summer. You can't be in, out, up, down, here, there, all over the place. There has to be a sense of consistency. Can you ever take a break? Can you ever slow down? Yes, of course you can do that, but when you look at the map, are you seeing a consistency? Do you see what I'm saying? So some things that can help you in that are to ask yourself, is what I'm doing right now getting me forward in my business? Is what I'm doing right now producing income? Is it developing my customer base? Is it bringing me down the path to success? And if the answer is no, you might need to reevaluate. The simplest thing, I think, and a very successful director, Jill Dramer, who became a director like in 30 days or 34 days, something crazy, earned her pink Cadillac in, I think it was like 90 days, if that. I mean, she was just zoomed to the top, and her thing is so simple. She tells her people to reach out to somebody new every day, to follow up with a customer every day, and to make sure that they're wearing head to toe Mary Kay. That's how she trains people. Keep it simple. But guess what? She's saying do it every day. That's the thing. For me, I went to training every Monday night. I didn't know if I would be good at it. I didn't know what was really going to be required. I just knew that, actually, I didn't know when I signed up, that there was training involved or that kind of thing. But when I found out, because I'm a very good girl, I sign up, I find out everybody goes to a weekly success meeting is what they called it. And it's a training, and sometimes you can bring guests. But I quickly realized that's the thing, that people that really take this business seriously, they go to the weekly training. So that was a commitment that I made. And I went week in, week out, no matter what. It was a rare case that I did not go to my Monday night training. And if that was the thing that I chose as my consistency in the beginning, then that's great. You know what I mean? Because you need something, you need to start somewhere. And I couldn't say, right from the day one, I started booking 2 classes or 2 parties a week. That would be wonderful, but I wasn't equipped to do that yet. But I could commit to going to a meeting every week, right? So find what you can commit to, find what you can be consistent with. And I think that what Jill Dramer said is fantastic. Reach out to somebody new. You can do that face to face. You can do it online. You can do it through social media. You can do it in a text. There are so many ways to reach out to people now. It can be somebody you know, somebody you don't know, but somebody that's not part of your Mary Kay world yet, somebody that's not a customer yet. Follow up with somebody who is part of your Mary Kay world. That doesn't necessarily mean it has to be a follow up with a sale. It can be, check up and see, hey, how's that skincare working out? Do you like that color? Are you still satisfied with that fragrance? You could just write a thank you note. I really appreciate getting together with you. I had so much fun. Continue establishing the relationships. Continue doing your job, which is to be a consultant. Continue to consult with your customers. We have a tendency to think that when we are calling or texting or contacting them, that we're pestering them. And you need to shift that thinking and realize that you are their beauty consultant. You just sold them, let's say, a skincare set. They may have spent more than they've ever spent on skincare before. It is now your job to make sure that they're using it properly, that they're happy with the results. Sometimes you have to probe because a lot of women have been taught that it's rude or it's not right to say, oh, actually, no, I'm not satisfied. But we need to find out, because if they're not satisfied, it's not because Mary Kay isn't a great product. It's because either they have the wrong formula or they have the wrong line. Like maybe they don't need Time-Wise Repair yet. Maybe they need Time-Wise 3D. Maybe they need Clear Proof, because they've got, all right, I'm going to do this every time I say maybe they need just a different skincare line altogether. But what I'm getting at is that when you call, you're calling as a professional. So don't even think of yourself, if this helps, when you contact people, don't think of yourself as, oh gosh, I am reaching out to them or I'm calling them on my own behalf. Imagine that it was your actual job, your job, that you went to your office and your boss said to you, today I need you to call this person and this person and this person and make sure that they're satisfied with this product. You wouldn't agonize over picking up the phone or texting or sending them a message. You would just do it because it's your job, right? It's the same thing, except you are your own boss, so it's so it's that much better. It's that much better. Think of what you want this business to be, what activities you should or could be doing to get you, where you want to go. We can talk together, what that could be. It's going to be a really hard habit for me to break, isn't it? It's crazy. It's like I can't even think about what I want to say next because I'm so worried I'm going to say, Think about what you want out of this business. We will discuss together what kind of steps you can take to get there, how much time you can commit to doing that. I'm doing this full time. You don't have that kind of time. Most of you don't have that kind of time. So what I do in a week is going to be different than what you do in a week. However, we can both commit to moving our businesses forward. And I will dare say we can even commit to moving our businesses forward every day. All right? I'm going to show you something called IPAs. Hopefully, if everything works right. I think that's my first one. Yes. IPAs, income producing activities. This is helping us remember, put in, the forefront of our mind that there's a difference between the things that we do for our business that make money and the things that may be necessary but don't make money. So let's say, you're a busy mom and you also work full time. So you've got, you allow an hour to an hour and a half in the evening to focus on your Mary Kay. If you spend that time, we're going to zoom to the bottom and show what is not an income producing activity. If you spend that hour and a half, and it's easy to do, doing things like making copies, cleaning your office, organizing things, writing out birthday cards, organizing your products, then you will not see your business moving forward. It's so easy to get caught up in the things that appeal to us most. Like, I like to organize. I like to get my desk organized and have my office a certain way. And I don't like to call people. Most people don't. So we find ourselves going back to the things like, well, I'll just sit down and write out my goals. I will think about what section 2 items I need. I'll start thinking about what I am going to have to get when I go to the post office. Those things are important, but they're not income producing. Do we ever do them? Yes, but that's more like what you would do when you are sitting in the car, when you're in a waiting room, when you are on the couch watching a TV show that you're not really that interested in. Sort of extra time. When you find those little snippets of extra time, you can do that kind of stuff. But on the regular, you need to be doing things that actually move your business forward in a powerful, focused, on purpose way. Ideally, holding a party or a facial or booking a party or a facial, but it can be more than that. Calling people for reorders or just calling to see how they're doing with the product. Networking for leads by phone. So that just means asking someone for referrals, or there's so many ways to network. We'll talk about that another day. Presenting the marketing plan, that in a nutshell, that's just telling somebody else why you decided to do Mary Kay, what it is that you love, what your goals and hopes and dreams are, and to get a sense of whether that appeals to them or not. And if it does, then you can present the facts of the marketing plan that you know, meaning, well, you sign your agreement, it costs this much, you get your starter kit, and when you sell, you buy it at, wholesale and you sell it at retail, you make 50% that way. However, you do have some expenses, blah, blah, blah. That's presenting the marketing plan, okay? Keep it simple. You don't have to have a degree to do that. Confirming appointments. Pre-profiling, that would be, let's say, you're going to bring a guest to the training on Monday night, and you know that we're going to be doing faces. You pre-profile that guest by contacting her in advance and saying, I'm so excited that I'm going to see you on Monday. I want to make sure I've got everything just right. Do you have a quick second to answer a couple questions? And you would say, well, first off, are you normal to dry or are you combination to oily? We should probably know that in advance. Do you have any known allergies, any skin reactions, anything that we should know about? Sometimes it's more about making that friendly connection than about getting the answers, because honestly, we kind of streamline the products that they try, but sometimes it really is helpful to get a heads up. Someone says, well, I absolutely can't have anything with rosemary in it. Then we know, okay, well, she can't try the charcoal mask. So that is a significant thing. Following up, 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 following up. That is so important, and I'm going to come back to that in a second. Coaching is sort of like when you coached your kids on the way to grandma's house in the car, and you're saying stuff like, okay, now remember, grandma's hard of hearing, so you have to talk really loud and look at her in the face. And when she reaches down to give you a kiss, don't pull away, because that's just how grandma is. And she misses you and she loves you, and let her give you a big smooch. And you're coaching your kid, like, this is what to expect. And this is how I want you to behave in order for things to go well. And for you coach your guests, you can coach your hostesses. Usually when we talk about coaching, we mean our hostesses. So we coach our hostesses by saying things like, ideally, we would like to have 4 people at your party. So if you could invite 6 to 8, that would be awesome, because you know how it is. Sometimes, people intend to come, but they just can't, blah, blah, blah. If I would need a kitchen table or a dining room table cleared off, would be great. You don't need to worry about making any fancy refreshments. We could have cookies at the tail end, because I just need everybody focused on what we're doing at the table skincare wise. I'll be there at 6:30, and we'll start at 7 o'clock sharp. You're just telling her what you need, what to expect, and answering her questions, and again, making that connection. Filling orders to mail that day. Yeah, that is an income producing activity. That's bottom line what we do. So as you get an order, and this seems like common sense to me, but I do see this happen. When you get an order, you need to be on it, okay? You want to provide the best customer service around. So you fill that order. And if you can't, you explain to the person why and when they can expect it. And if you can't get it from Mary Kay corporate, or you can't order it through the customer delivery service, you contact me and we'll brainstorm what we can do to get the product to that customer, because the last thing we want is for her to be waiting, a week, 10 days, 2 weeks, because you will lose her. Okay. And that, we ain't nobody need that. Calling customers on your preferred customer mailing list. That's kind of obvious, just to call and make sure that they got the mailing. And again, I've said this in the past, it provides a reason for you to call. That's one of the beauties of the preferred customer program. Once it mails, you've got a reason to call, even to just say, did you love that sample as much as I did? That Hopeful Lilac is my new favorite go-to lip gloss. Just giving you a reason to call, giving you a conversation. Listening to recordings, that would basically mean like YouTube videos, setting goals. So this is a little different than like a daydreaming, just sitting in your office, time wasting. I shouldn't say wasting, but this is more specific, and it's something that you do every day, where at the beginning of the day, you can say, all right, today, Monday, the 6 most important things for me to get done today, Mary Kay wise, would be make sure I'm prepared for my meeting tonight, confirm my guest, pack my bag so that I have everything I need, fill my orders. I need to stop at the post office and get stamps, and I really need to clear off my desk. Yes, that counts too. And you do that every day. You do it quickly, and then you have that list in front of you, and those are the things that you want to tick off your list before you do anything else. That is something that's a legitimate thing to do. Attending functions, etc., etc. So you can Google Mary Kay IPAs. Everything in the world you can Google. That's I used to just be like, oh, give me that, send me that, make sure that you give me a copy of that. But you can Google anything and you'll find it, and you might find something even better sometimes, because who knows. But if you need something specific and you can't find it, let me know and I'll give you a version of it. But there are so many versions of everything under the sun, Mary Kay wise. So, all right, consistency, having some kind of a plan, doing it daily. You can start with just going to a meeting every week, or just reaching out to somebody every day. And so somebody new, contacting someone that you already have some kind of Mary Kay relationship with, learning about the IPAs, the difference between things that you do that are income producing versus things that really, frankly, are not. Not that they're not important, not that you can't ever do them, but you just have to learn how to prioritize your time. Something else to really get a hold of, and this took me a long, long time, is that it takes several attempts, several contacts, some people call it touches, to really get someone to hear you and to be open to booking with you or trying your product. It's called the Rule of 7. Back, I think in the 20s or 30s, I guess maybe the 30s, when movies were first a thing, the directors and the producers realized statistically that people had to hear or see about the movie. There had to be the big posters and in the newspapers and on the radio. There had to be 7 points of contact before they would make a decision to see a movie. And from that point on, in marketing, we've talked about the rule of seven. There's something about us. It's a combination of, I think we forget. I think when something is new, we're kind of intimidated or we're unsure. And I think because we learn differently, we need to hear in different ways. So let me give you an example. You might think that because you say to somebody face to face at work, hey, we're doing this really cool thing called masks and margaritas. We're going to have free margaritas and we're doing charcoal masks and it's going to be so much fun. Is that something that you think you'd like to do? And she might be like, oh, that does sound really fun. I'll let you know. I'll think about it. I think so. I can probably do that. And in your mind, you think, okay, check her off the list. Like I've asked and answered, done. But that's not done. Okay. So you've asked her face to face. You should probably then text her the information, invite her to the group so that she sees the little flyer that I made. So she's hearing it, she's reading it, she's seeing the flyer. Then when you see her at work a couple days later, remind her, and then remind her again the day before, confirm it, explain what it is, really try to think about anything that she may be wondering, but maybe she's uncomfortable asking, like say it's casual dress, it doesn't cost anything, that kind of thing. In that scenario, you had kind of a positive response right from the beginning, so that's a little bit easier. But even in that case, you still have to remind her and explain it and show her in order to get her there. I promise you, if you talk to her on Sunday, like a week and a day before, and you don't say another word, there is no way in heck that she's going to remember or plan on doing that unless she's a really unusual person. Because people just don't take things that seriously and they can't remember, and just most people just aren't like that. Here's another scenario. When I was at Weight Watchers, a couple people started to realize that I did Mary Kay, and someone would say to me, I really should do a makeover with you sometime. Yeah, I should do that. But she didn't really say, let's do it, let's book it. And so I was like, okay, great, I'll bring you a catalog next time. So long story short, I brought her a catalog, tried to get her information. She was in a hurry that day. So then the next time I tried to get her information, got her phone number and maybe her email. I texted her. And then it was like, well, she couldn't get together that week. And so it kept getting, where we were going to do something and then we didn't, and it got postponed. And then it was shifted from we were going to, do one thing into something else. And in my head, every time I tried to reach out to her, I felt uncomfortable because I thought, like, is she not doing this because she changed her mind? Does she really not want to do this anymore? But I thought, okay, as a professional beauty consultant, let's evaluate, what did she tell me? She said she wanted to do this. So in the last time that we contacted each other or connected, she said she couldn't because her grandkids were there. She didn't say she didn't want to do it anymore. She said she couldn't because her grandkids were there. And make sure that you respond. It's like you're playing, like you're throwing a ball back and forth. You threw the ball to her. She said, oh, you know what? I can't do it after all because my grandkids are here. So she throws the ball to you. Then you need to say, well, may I call you in a week and we'll figure out another time? And you just throw the ball back to her. Because otherwise, if you just leave it, you lose it. So we kind of played that game for a while, but eventually we got together. She loved it. She bought it. She's been a preferred customer ever since. But it was probably a 3-month process. And every single time I would be like, oh, it felt funny. It felt awkward. It took some chutzpah, for me to do that. But I did it because I wanted to be a professional. And when I asked myself, did she tell me to stop contacting her? No, she didn't. She, as far as I know, she wants me to follow through. So follow through. I keep coming back to that, and it's because I I can't express it strongly enough how important it is that you see yourself as a professional, so that when you are imagining contacting people, that you don't think of yourself as pestering them. And I think it helps you not to seem like you're pestering them, because truth be told, I have had friends that have pestered me. I've had people that have been in direct sales businesses that have asked me over and over and over and over to book, and it's been awkward and kind of icky. And, nobody wants to be that person. But that's where you need to do it differently. You want to act like a professional, the way you say it, the way you carry yourself, the way you express yourself. Listen to what they're saying. If they say no, it's no, and you move on. There's a lot of people in this world. But if they say yes or later, then you figure out, when should I follow up? A lot of times I'll ask. So if somebody says, I would love to go to that masks and margaritas, but I have a cold and it takes me so long to get over a cold, then I will say, okay, so we are going to start doing this every week. So could I call you the following Monday? Ask permission. And then you feel better when you contact them again, because you've kind of prefaced it. You've let them know this is happening. You can expect me, because I'm going to be calling again. Do you see what I'm saying? So those are a couple examples. And then I was thinking also, and I mentioned this last night at our little soiree, that Mary Kay rewards us for consistency. That's basically what all these prizes are. When you get the jewelry for doing a $600 wholesale in a month, when you get a prize for being a star consultant in a quarter, Mary Kay is helping you see that when you sell consistently, that is how you build a business. And they can't control or know how many people you're talking to or how many parties you're having, but they really only see how much inventory you're purchasing. And so that's why that's what they reward. It's on you to make sure that you are out there talking to people and having appointments and that kind of thing. So my little aside right there is, do not fall into the trap of buying inventory that you don't need just to get a pretty prize. Okay? That is a slippery slope, and that's not what it's meant for. It's meant to help you stay focused. If you need to do 600 wholesale in a month, that means you need to sell 300 retail week in, week out to hit that goal. And that is a realistic sales goal. But my point is that if you want to see where you're at, if you want to pace yourself and you want to start taking advantage of all of these rewards and prizes, all of that information is on Mary Kay In Touch. So it behooves you to learn how to find the information and to check it regularly, because by the time you've been in for a year or so, you should know how to figure that out on your own, how to get that information. Whether you're going to meetings or not, whether you're super regular or not, you should at least know how to find out where you're at and decide if that's something that you want to run for or not. We get Applause magazine. We used to get it in the mail, but now I think it's going to be digital. That has tons of really important information and deadlines that are relevant. So the information that Mary Kay puts in the emails that they send you, all of that stuff, even though you might feel like, oh, snore, this doesn't apply to me, you'd be surprised how much of it can apply to you if you pay attention to it. If sometimes you might miss a prize just by, a week or a day or, $50. And if you would have just shifted things around a little bit more strategically, you would have gotten a really cool prize. And it is exciting, it is rewarding, and it is something then that you can show people and say, look what I got for doing something I love. That is very real and very meaningful and a great conversation starter. So, okay, I feel like that's plenty to digest. Bottom line, I think that every day you need to make an effort to reach out to somebody new in whatever way best suits you, face to face, text, online, whatever. And you need to follow up with someone current, check on an order, send a thank you note, whatever. Just do something to continue that relationship with the people that are in your Mary Kay circle, and make sure that you're using the product from head to toe. That makes a difference. The more familiar you are with the products, the more in love you are with the products, and you can speak genuinely about the benefits of the products, you will sell more. That's a fact. Wonderful rest of your day, and I will be back next Tuesday with another installment of your weekly basic training lessons. Thanks a lot for your time. Bye.